April 9th, 1865. Nearly 4 years, the bloodiest conflict in the history of the United States of America comes to an end. 620,000 soldiers have perished, and the country is on the verge of collapse. Although the shooting and cannon fire is over, the mental war still rages on. Racism is still a huge problem, and the government needs to find a way to accept the new influx of African Americans that are becoming citizens in a short while. Though they may not be citizens yet until their amendment has come, they are still human beings, and they're going to need a place to stay, they're going to need food, they're going to need jobs, and they're going to need to be accepted, especially in the South, which is not something that is going to happen quickly. May 14th, 1865, Lincoln is assassinated by James Wilkes Booth in a theater while watching the British comedy Our American Cousin. Following the shooting of Lincoln, Booth fled on horseback to southern Maryland. He eventually made his way to a farm in rural northern Virginia. He was tracked down and shot by Union soldiers 12 days later. He was shot in a shed, which was lit on fire, and his body burned with the shed. It later became known that John Wilkes Booth had also planned to kidnap Lincoln at one point. On December 6, 1865, the 13th Amendment was passed. It states that neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States, or any place subject to their jurisdiction. July 9, 1868, Congress ratified the 14th Amendment, which states all persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and the state where they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. On February 3, 1870, Congress ratified the 15th Amendment, which states the right of citizens of the United States to vote shall not be denied or abridged by the United States or by any state on account of race, color, or previous condition of servitude. After Andrew Johnson, the Vice President, became President of the United States, on November 21st, 1867, an attempt to impeach him failed 57 to 108 in the House of Representatives. On March 26th of 1868, the third vote by the Senate to impeach President Johnson, the votes were 35 senators voted guilty and 19 voted not guilty, thus falling short of the two-thirds majority required for conviction to impeachment trials in a single vote. Meanwhile, in this crazy world of impeachment, Jim Crow laws, the KKK, heavy racism, outbreaks of violence, and people finding gold out west, one of the most important inventions, the railroad, came into big play. Not only did it bring people west, before and after the war, and help Union troops get where they needed to be during the war, now it has become a vital part of the actual technical reconstruction of the United States of America. They were actually reconstructing the South by building railroads, improving the towns, building more stations, more stops, more lines could go west. Eventually, they were going to have the Transcontinental Railroad. The railroad now stretched thousands of miles all over the country. It brought people west, north, south, and east. After the military rule in the South was over, the railroad was a big building project for people to get a lot of jobs back. Also, a lot of immigrants worked on the Transcontinental Railroad in a few years. America was literally speeding down the track towards recovery.